Hi, I'm Dana Obleman. This video is part of my free sleep course for kids 25 months and up right here on YouTube. If you could use some more guidance and check out Sleep Sounds Plus, the link is in the description below.
Okay, night one is tonight. How do we get ready? Well, today I just want you to make sure that your child's getting as much rest as she can. If she's still napping, go ahead and give her a nap in whatever way you can. We're not going to worry too much about naps today, just that she's well rested enough going into bedtime number one. All right, it's bedtime number one. The first step is the routine. We want to make sure that this routine is about half an hour in length, moving in a very step-by-step fashion, especially with this age group. It's very important that we make this predictable and clear to our children, that these 5 or 6 things will happen in this sequence, and then you will go to bed. So I love to see a routine start with a bath. I think it's a great way to set the stage. I think it's a great cue to our body and brain that we're transitioning into night. Now, don't worry if your child does not relax in the bathtub. I've never met a child yet who relaxes in the bathtub. It is fun. They enjoy it. It's a special time in the day for, individual attention from a parent. So give it to them. About 10, 15 minutes at the most is perfect for a bath. Too long and it will become overstimulating. So get that little one out. If you're having pushback, my middle son hated to get out of the tub, so I set a timer for 10 minutes, and when the timer went, he had to get out, whether he liked it or not. And as time went on, he learned that there was no point in putting up a fuss, because when he heard that bell, he was getting out of the tub. So it absolutely cut the fight right out of it eventually. Then we would move into brushing teeth, getting pajamas on, and then going to the child's bedroom for a couple of things in there before we say goodnight. I love story time. I'm a teacher by trade, so any chance you have to read to your children is really important and lovely. Can become some really great quality time between you and your child. Now, with this age group, it's very important that you set a limit to how many stories, and it should be the exact same limit every night, whether they ask for more or not. 2 is perfect. I find it's a good length of books that they're not going to get too overstimulated before bed. Now, with children of this age, it's often helpful to give them choice along the way. They're really starting to figure out that they have their own will and autonomy, and they love it when they have a little bit of choice in things. So maybe they get to pick out which jammies tonight. They can pick out the stories, but there are only 2, and then you read them, and they'll feel like that gives them a little bit of power over a situation with your careful control. So we're going to read a couple of stories. I would prefer it not be in their bed. So make a little story corner or get a rocker, and that's where you do your story time, just because we're really going to try to set us a message now that the bed is for sleep and that's it. Nothing else happens there but sleep. If your child's still drinking from a bottle, I want you to end that starting tonight. There's no reason why children of this age group need any kind of beverage before bed. A sip of water, okay. But any kind of food in a bottle especially has to end, because that is most likely some sort of association your child has between sleep and food. So bottle is a common problem for, even if she's not falling asleep on that bottle, they can still incorporate it. Somehow it's loosely connected to sleep, and they may start to wake up in the night looking for that all over again. So no more beverage. Absolutely not. Now, if that concerns you and worries you, it's most likely because you think your child does not eat well. Now, I can promise you, by ending this calorie source, a lot of toddlers will use milk to fill up their calorie needs because it's a quick and easy way to do it. And you need to start looking at, could she be calorie loading with milk? And that it's very common. So ending it in the bedtime piece will absolutely encourage her to start eating better throughout the day. It might not show up exactly the next day, but in the next few days, you will notice that calories are being added somewhere in her day because she's missing out on these. And she can absolutely still sleep through the night, even if she's going to bed a little bit hungry. That is okay. Again, we want to encourage her to eat a proper dinner so that she's not hungry when bedtime rolls around. After story time, we're going to give kisses and hugs and tuck our little one into bed. Now, there might be some of you watching and you've got a 2-year-old who still is in a crib, and that is absolutely fine. In fact, congratulations for keeping your child in a crib. I really, really do suggest people hang on to cribs until at least 2.5. That's a great age to start the transition. The closer to 3 you get, the easier it goes. So no shame, no worry if your child is still in a crib. For most of you though, you have lost the crib somewhere along the way. Your child's just outgrown it and you've moved into a bed. So we're going to talk about the stay in the room method with your child in a bed, but still the exact same process if your child is in a crib. The only difference is that we are no longer lying down with our child. We are sitting in a chair. And I suggest it be a portable chair, a kitchen chair, a patio chair, something that we can move around easily, and you're just going to sit right beside her. You're going to say a key phrase, sleepy time now, or nighty-night now, whatever you want to say, and that's really all you're going to say. We're not going to get into a negotiation or a long storytelling session. We're just going to use those key phrases. You can try a little bit of careful touch. If it helps to maybe hold his hand for a couple of minutes and then withdraw, but just be careful that you don't incorporate yourself. We're trying to get you out of here, right? So please don't hang on to your child until they fall asleep, because that's just going to replace one prop with another one. We're just basically sitting in that chair until our child falls asleep. Now there will be some mild anxiety on the child's part because this isn't the norm. They're used to you laying with or cuddling you in some fashion, and now you're just sitting in the chair. You will not give in to any requests to get into their bed. You will not respond to any crying or protests that you're not getting into bed. You can just remind them that you will stay there until they fall asleep, but you will no longer be in the bed with them. Now, this will be a rough night, absolutely. I will not sugarcoat it for you. Your child will absolutely have some anxiety and protest around the fact that you are not laying down with them. And that is their prerogative. They have absolutely every right to respond however they choose to this, but we are moving forward with our plan regardless. Now, if you want to, you can call in your partner, or if you've got a family friend there to help you out. Maybe you decide I'll stay for the first 20 minutes and then you come in for 20 and we alternate back and forth that way. I do find with this age group though, that can be a little too overstimulating or distracting. So a better choice would be for you to alternate nights. So you do tonight and your partner does tomorrow night, or a friend or family member that's helping you out does tomorrow night. And that will make this easier for you, right? Because you're going to be in there for some length of time, and knowing that you won't have to do it tomorrow might be what you need to get through this. And there is no time limit to this. This is a very important piece of this particular puzzle. There cannot be a time limit to this. And you have probably given in the past. If we've gotten this far into your child's life, chances are high you've done some sort of thing like this before, but the big mistake was you gave in. And we won't do that this time. We were going to hang in there until she's asleep. What happens when you set time limits is that you will teach your very clever child that there are time limits. And she'll know, I just have to put up a big enough fuss here, cry for long enough that eventually she's going to get into bed with me, or she's going to nurse me, or she's going to rock me. And all that will teach your child is that if she holds on long enough, you will give in. And that we're teaching her to cry. That's not what you want. I know that that's definitely not what you want, but that's actually what you're teaching. You're teaching your child to cry. So guess what? Tomorrow night, she's going to cry for exactly as long or longer, and the next night longer. And instead of decreasing our crying time, we're going to increase our crying time.